What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Insurrection Inc. podcast. We want to thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to the 6 Million Reconsidered podcast.
Oh, Lord.
I am one of your hosts, Stratty.
God.
With us today, we have Porter, Monty, total huge David Irving fan, big-time reader, always telling you Stalin was the worst. And we got Jay, who's on the opposite side of that argument. Andrew will be joining us later today.
Wait, I'm not the tanky here. That's Porter.
No.
Porter's the tanky.
Yeah, Porter's the tanky. You're the Jew. You're the other Jew.
Yeah, but so I'm not defending Stalin.
No, you're not defending Stalin. It's just Monty's over here trying to defend Hitler too much.
But the way you made it seem like is like it's a binary. Like you support Hitler and don't support Stalin, or you support Stalin and you don't support Hitler.
Oh, no, you just don't read David Irving.
I don't read David Irving.
Monty's
I don't even know who that is.
I really don't want anybody to look this up.
Monty's
he's awesome. I recommend him.
He's recommended me all his books. It's terrible. But anyways, I'll start by saying, we've been trying to get a serious episode out for a bit. I believe y'all recorded one. I've been away because of work and with the Libertarian Party and all that. But happy to be joining y'all. So first things
After
first.
a shit show.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just saw who David Irving is.
Oh God, Porter, look at David Irving.
Monty's a huge David Irving fan. But anyways,
don't even get me started. I can go on forever.
Oh
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh no.
Oh, I want to kill myself.
all right. But anyways,
So much
we'll
for a
start
serious
with,
episode.
the reason why we haven't been able to get a serious episode out. Well, we tried to record one about 2 or 3 days ago. We tried 3 times throughout the day. First time was delayed because Discord was just messing up. Second time got
Every
delayed.
Discord server took a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, the second time it got delayed though, things were pretty crazy.
Oh man.
So,
Oh.
what happened was we all decided to get on Google Hangouts, and on Google Hangouts it has the webcam option, correct? So,
Right.
whenever I got on, we were settling in. We were on for about, I'd say, just a minute, maybe a minute or two, and just finally
It was no more than 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were getting settled in, and then, behind me, outside my window, I just hear, "Hey, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker." You guys saw how shocked I was. You guys saw me jump up from my chair and open my window and look outside, and I was wondering what's up with this guy, because I look down and I see a guy, and he's in my driveway yelling about killing someone. So all I asked him was, "Get off my fucking property." Get off, not my property, my parents, but get off the fucking property. And he turns around and he looks at me and he says, "Oh, you fucking get off your property. I'll show you whose fucking house this is." And he just charges straight for the garage. So at that point, I run to the back. I yell. I run to the back of the room, which is leading to downstairs, and I yell downstairs and I say, "I'll tell my dad to get his gun." At that point, one of y'all started recording. I think it was Andrew or Porter.
I started recording first. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, at that point, one of y'all started recording. And I look back out, and the guy's running for my garage. So I say, "Oh, fuck, he's coming for my house." And he's threatening my family. Because he was threatening me, and he was threatening the people inside the house, which is my family. And so I grabbed my knife. And from then on, all it is really just a bunch of yelling and breaking up of the whatever's going on outside. They saw my knife and freaked the fuck out.
Pause for a second. There's an awesome screenshot from my video of Stratty standing out the window with his knife.
It's a very big knife.
Takes his glasses off to look at the guy. It's such a good screenshot.
We got some good memes out of it.
Yeah, y'all be seeing these memes pretty soon. So, no, and that honestly, those memes did pick me up when I was down. So thank you.
The only Boogaloo side quest meme I'll ever make was that one with you.
Thank you. Well, I'm honored. But really, it wasn't much after that, except for the fact that we found out it was a judge's son, 40-year-old son.
Has a history with this, right?
Yeah, he's notorious around town. I'll fucking name him. I don't care. Mark Shoebridge. He's a little cunt, but he's famous around town just for being a piece of shit.
Is he a crack addict or something?
Yeah, he's got to be. I mean, everyone knows he's on something, and obviously that day he was on something with how he was acting.
Oh yeah.
He was shirtless, all beat up. I guess he got into a fight beforehand, and that's why he was out on the street yelling. I don't know who is, but anyways, it got broken up. Nothing much after that. Just a lot of shit going through my head because whenever shit happens, that stuff tends to happen. But y'all were a big help for me and got me through and made me laugh. So I really appreciate y'all for that. But it would have been great had we been totally in the middle of an episode when that happened, because I would love to just release the episode that way. But
that would be amazing.
Well, the video does exist out there somewhere, so
you can put. I don't care if one of y'all puts the video out there for our listeners.
Bonus content on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, bonus. I hope I make the fucking cover of this episode's podcast. This episode.
Oh, you will.
Cover art. I haven't made it yet.
It's going to be the cover art, but we're formally announcing that we're starting a Patreon. So top paying members, they get to see Stratty defend his property.
First
that better be a joke.
What's the Patreon going to be for a show with 4 listeners?
We're gonna have to charge them 100 if we want to keep this Patreon.
If anybody wants to send some fan mail to the judge in particular, his address is.
Oh, bro, come on.
Wow. This is the soonest I've ever had to censor something in a podcast. 7 minutes in.
That might be my first censor in this podcast.
That is your first censor, and that is also the record.
This is my second or third.
So, first censor and the longest censor, since I didn't censor anything in the After Hours episode.
Well, we shoot for the top here, so
we do. We're heading for the top. We want the most censors in a libertarian podcast. That's what we want to be known. Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, yeah, that was just that was an insane day, and it's just all of us were legitimately worried for you. We were legitimately worried.
And I don't really appreciate that. For a bit there, I was legitimately worried, but after taking everything into consideration, the dude had no case against me, so I should have
popped his ass.
Yeah, that I would. I wish I had, but also I should have just been more mindful after everything had happened and realized, I'm in the right here, even if this fucking bureaucrat tries to do anything against me with his power. People were there. Obviously, I had digital witnesses, and y'all. I was gonna be fine regardless, whatever they did to me.
You got the whole city behind you.
Yeah, pretty fucking much. But
plus your Insurrection Inc. boys.
Most importantly, his Insurrection Inc. buddies.
Hey, y'all were gonna travel down and break me out of jail.
No, we were in the Insurrection Inc. group chat. We had 5 of us willing to hop in the car as soon as you got to jail.
Oh, that would be me driving up because I'm the southernmost out of all of you.
Yeah.
Even the Insurrection Inc. Just buddies, people that aren't on the show, but they hang out in the chat. They were even willing to come fucking fight for me. So
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Made me feel really good.
But if you, dear listeners, would like to all donate money to us so we can buy the Insurrection Inc. short bus, that would be great. Thank you.
We did find a short bus.
We did. We were ready to make the Insurrection Inc. short bus, but it was $2,000, and Andrew would have had been the one to repair it all.
Yeah, that's right.
It was in a very shit condition.
My brand new Twitter, at Mind Your Excuses, the bio says driver of the short bus. Pretty proud of that.
Oh, dude, I should put mine the guard of the short bus.
You are the guard of the short bus.
I'll be scribe of the short bus.
Wait, who's the ones who sit in the back?
Peter.
There was always those kids who sat in the back.
Rosa Parks.
Monty's gonna be that weird kid that sits in the middle of the bus and like talks to everyone, like instigates shit, makes fun of the driver.
No.
Yeah, no. He reaches over the back of the seat. He's that kid from the Polar Express memes. He's like, actually, Battlestar Galactica is the best show.
Polar Express.
But I would also like to take.
No, his voice
Monty's
is way
voice
too
better than that. Yeah, it's better than that. But I would like to take a second to point out that Stratty almost one man started the enormous thermo-insular block of ice house event across the country. Because if you would have kicked it off, then we would have kicked it off. And then it's more than just a Boogaloo Clyde. Now you have suddenly us and all of our Instagram following possibly kicking shit off. So thank you for not starting that. I would rather not have been in that. But
none of us even call ourselves Boogaloo Boys. Yeah. Roll out.
Yeah. You ride or die. That's how it goes in Insurrection Inc. And by ride or die, I mean you make memes about your friend who almost got arrested.
Right, we release a video. It's just me wearing a fucking ski mask in front of a camera talking in like one of those voices about this is what will happen if you do not.
No, dude, there's the thick boog line behind you flag.
Yeah.
You're wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I could totally see Stratty in a Hawaiian shirt, just like casually, not even a private message.
I used to wear, if you look down on my Instagram, all throughout high school, I either wore jerseys or Hawaiian t-shirts, like floral shirts and shit, just because that's what I like to wear.
If you look at Stratty's Facebook, there is him in a sports jersey and a MAGA hat.
Oh yeah, like in 20 pictures.
Yeah, clean shaven too. You were so much more clean cut back then. Now you look like a dirty fucking hippie.
Yep, that's pretty much been my evolution as a man.
Yeah, Stratty is probably Stratty's the most scraggly looking out of all of us. It's like Stratty, Peter.
Peter doesn't even look that bad. I mean, really, like
Peter.
If that's how it goes me and Peter. Then that's a huge fucking gap between me and Peter.
I pray to God, and none of our listeners ever see any of those creepy photos Peter sends.
No, we're making one of those the episode art eventually.
Oh my God, dude, no.
We'll cover his face. That's the worst part, but
we're gonna edit a paper bag over it.
Oh, did we ever address though what happened to Menace? Why he quit the show?
We wanted to, but it got cut out of the show because the server dropped. Menace sadly went and Menace, he quit the show because after the Sasquatch episode, he got really obsessed with Sasquatches. And it was all he would talk about. And it was getting really bad. So now he just moved out to the woods. I don't know if it's in the east or the northwest or whatever. He didn't say. But he was off to look for a Sasquatch colony to get those sweet, sweet Sasquatch hand jobs. But the good news is Menace has left, but we have replaced him with almost immediately with a guy named Andrew, who's going to be coming on later in a little bit. And he is very conveniently also from Alabama, very close to where Menace is from. Has the same accent, same sense of humor, same voice. They look the same. We've seen photos of both. They look the same. We basically found his doppelganger to replace him. So I think we found a very good fit.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast that happened.
Yeah. That being said, I really do hope...
Instantly.
Yeah, I really do hope that Menace does find his Sasquatches, though. Because if he comes back empty-handed and full nutted, I don't know, man. I don't know.
And full nutted.
And Menace is always welcome back. It's just, other than the whole going off the rails of the Sasquatch thing, he was always just a problem behind the scenes. And, I love the guy, and I'm always willing to work with him, but I just want him to...
He and you had a lot of drama.
Yeah,
there's a lot of head-to-head.
But you know what? That's the past, and I want him to get better, and I would like for him to one day return to the show. But if it doesn't happen, I understand.
Yeah, the things that you two would debate over, it was just insane. You were firm on a stance that traps are gay, and he got really salty about that one.
Yeah, I don't know, something about just the.
He's dating a femboy. What do you expect?
I need a second. Hold on. Oh god, this is the dumbest bit we've ever done for this show.
Okay, Can we move on from Menace then? Like he
Yeah,
moved
he's
on
done.
from us?
He's done.
Yeah.
Whatever. Good riddance.
Okay, so Monty, you had something today that was annoying you a lot that you wanted to talk about for a second, right?
I think I'm gonna have to comment on this too, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think it wasn't. It clearly took a huge chunk out of my day, wasted time. Just people too, like in the literal sense, are autistic. Like that's not an insult, but just dense. What do you want me to talk about?
I don't just run us through like what happened, and don't read the screenshots. Just like give us the gist.
Yeah, so he was just as part of it was arguing about if you know how like most ancaps don't think of agorism as its own ideology. Yeah, so they fail to realize that. Yeah, it was pretty stupid like that.
I think one of them claimed like agorism necessarily believes that like all wage labor is evil or something like that. Okay, here's my take on that from the token agorist on the show.
Wait, you're an agorist? I thought you were a communist.
We've gone over this. This is
he said that was
how
such
is this
a
not coming full circle? You started calling me a communist because you said agorism was left libertarian.
I can't keep my story straight, okay? I gotta slander you somehow.
You're not even drunk right now.
I wish.
It's like the first in 3 episodes.
Hey! Well, actually, no, the order that is getting released, you're right.
Well,
shit.
So I think agorism is best understood as the philosophy of a strategy. So in that sense, it is its own philosophy, but it's compatible with other ones. It's like I also still refer to myself as an anarcho-capitalist and free market anarchist. I use the terms kind of interchangeably. But I also call myself an agorist at the same time because I think agorism is a philosophy of how to achieve anarcho-capitalism or whatever you want to call it. And these guys seem to think agorism is the end goal, and I'm not sure that's accurate. I don't think that that's what agorism is really supposed to mean, even in Konkin's sense. And to address the wage labor thing, that definitely comes from Konkin because he was not a fan of wage labor. I don't know if he explicitly promoted the labor theory of value. I don't think he did. But I also honestly haven't read enough Konkin to know that for sure.
Exactly.
As I've said before, I came from the Hessian side of agorism,
and
the Karl Hess tradition.
Yeah, the difference between Hess and Konkin, like that alone is a difference. That
right, definitely for sure. But the claim that agorists must oppose wage labor, I don't think is accurate because I've explained this to Monty before, and kind of my opinion on it is that I don't think Konkin has full claim over the term agorism. One, because terms can change over time,
and that's what I was trying to explain. That
right, yeah, that's why I referenced that. And two, because the way he defined agorism doesn't necessarily include a judgment on wage labor. He defined it as the use of counter-economics to achieve a stateless society or a free society. And agorism is the philosophy, the belief that strategy is the best one or the most consistent. And I do agree with that. But Konkin's opposition to wage labor, I think, falls outside of that definition. That's kind of like an auxiliary opinion of his that doesn't necessarily fit into the definition of agorism. So you can be an agorist and oppose wage labor, although I think it's inconsistent for other reasons. But being an agorist doesn't necessarily mean you oppose wage labor. That's where I think they got that wrong, the guys you were arguing with.
Yeah, and later on, one of them talked about the class theory and how that makes it its own ideology too, like it's totally separate from ANCAP.
It's such a weak class theory, though. Like it's not even really class theory.
I was just saying it has a different. Like if you ask an ANCAP, they're gonna give you more of a. It's more. Like they're gonna drop the ideological stuff about the class theory and the wage labor stuff. And they're going to focus on the counter-economics.
Well, even Rothbard had a class theory, and Konkin's was actually similar to this. They weren't exactly the same, obviously. But even Rothbard, in like Anatomy of the State, describes the state as one class, the court intellectuals as kind of the class below them that are associated with the state, and then there's the voluntary productive class. That's everyone else.
Yeah.
So,
oh, wait. I really want to say, though, I do like how Porter explains agorism because I think that's most people just don't see it that way. I think most people do come at it the way, well, maybe not most. I shouldn't say most, but I think most of the people that come into agorism thinking they are an agorist right off the bat, they do believe in what that one guy that, Monty talked with. I think they are on that same track. But the way Porter explained it, I think, is the way agorism is, and is the way are the kind of agorists that we are able to work with as ancaps. But Porter, I have one question. Wasn't it me that introduced you to that term, free market anarchism? Because I remember we had a conversation about this one night.
Actually, that sprung up kind of because I was exploring terms that I thought were better than anarcho-capitalism, like for rhetorical purposes. And so I put it on my story, and you slid up. So you weren't the one who introduced me to it.
That's right.
But,
That's right.
You influenced my thoughts on it because we had a good discussion. Yeah, you're right. That was one of the first times I talked to you on Instagram.
Yeah,
actually.
that was because I remember I was riding home from vacation or something like that. We talked for quite a bit, and I remember talking about how I adopted that term because Lou Rockwell used it as a way of working with other people who may be just turned off by the term anarcho-capitalism because capitalism is such a loaded term.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Porter helped me realize that my ideal ideology can come to fruition. So I introduce you all to Hoppe and agorism.
You're gonna piss off so many people.
Oh, I hope I do.
Yeah,
I hope I do.
I've gotten pissed at other agorists and started to unironically lean towards that term, Jay.
It's unironically a good term though, but what's up, Monty?
Well, I was just gonna, speaking of what works in convincing people, I think we should just quickly say if you want any hope at all of convincing someone, there are things you shouldn't do. Anyone have any?
What you
want to start? Because I think some people
what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I think you should start, Monty.
I think you need to not be so dense. That is pretty vague, but
you have to be open to conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't pull a Jeffrey Tucker and just call him a fascist. Get out of here.
Yeah, I like Tucker's economics, but when it comes to social shit, he is just bad.
And the comments, I looked it up because I wanted to watch it, and the comment section was just not happy with it. It was a bad look.
No, it's a horrible look. I mean, his
and
economics
Richard Spencer.
He's
easy to make fun of. He's easy to debunk. So you could have, in that 5-minute span of that video, you could have.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, and I mean, when it comes to economics, I like Tucker, and I think he's a really good voice for crypto too. But then the second he should not open his mouth about social shit because he's just not good at it. And I mean, he makes himself such a stereotype because he's this very lispy dude who drives a Honda S2000 convertible and reads about fascists. What is that going to insinuate about him?
Dude, don't hate on those 2Ks. Those are kind of cool cars.
And
they're not my favorite, but
they're notorious for hairdressers. So
Jay, I gotta argue though that it's more important that he's right on the economic issues, and I get where you're coming from about how he may feel about how you may feel about his stance on social issues.
Well, I didn't mean to go down this whole route.
Yeah.
Even if you disagree,
we're here now, so let's just clear it up.
But even if you disagree about the social side of it, you have to at least give him credit on the fact that he may approach these things with the right idea because he's so right on the economics.
Of course. No, like I said, I love his economics, and it doesn't make him any worse of a person because I might disagree. I don't even know where I disagree with him socially. I just know there's some things that I do, and I don't like the way he approaches it. I don't think that makes him a worse economist or anything. I still think he's a very good economist and a very good voice for crypto and a very good voice for anarcho-capitalism. I just think he would be a stronger voice if he focused on what's strong for him and what's instead of what's weak for him, which is his social stances.
Yeah, I get you.
Anyway, yeah,
same way Milton Friedman should have focused on the stuff he was writing about before capitalism and freedom.
Yeah, because not the monetarist shit.
On a real quick, just small quick rant. I wish more Austrians would give Milton Friedman's stuff a chance because he was right on so many issues. It's just so much of his work focuses on the issues he was not right about. So,
and a lot of it is also utilitarian. Well, Austrians are very deontological, so it makes sense that we're a little bit more averse to him.
Yeah, but still,
I recognize the contributions, but
But as Amani was talking about not being dense, I think a part of not being dense is listening to those other libertarian voices.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he does a good job for converting people. I just think he's not a final stop.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many videos out there on YouTube, even.
And some of his good things. He actually predicted cryptocurrency in the 90s. So, give him credit where credit is due. He did a lot of good stuff, and he's a good he's a good what's the word? A gateway drug to libertarianism, along with Hayek.
And regardless of how much Austrians try to frame him as a Keynesian or a big-time monetarist guy, which I understand he was not in favor of the Federal Reserve. And people need to get that through their fucking heads.
No, he wasn't a fan of it, but when you have the strong opposition that's saying abolish the Fed, and then you have him saying, well, while we have it, we might as well make them, work well, and that's the difference. It's
I agree, and I get
who was it? I was discussing it with Porter's friend Isaac, that what should be the role of the state, police and all that. While they're here, should they be doing the best that they can, or should they be as weak and as inefficient as they can be? I think they should be as weak and inefficient, so we have more reason to get off of them.
And see, that's funny because this is more like talking about public property thing. I may have been talking about it with y'all. I can't remember, but I'll just say
we talk a lot. I don't know, man.
Yeah, so I'll just say it real quick, just for this sake. But when it comes to public property, I'm obviously very anti-public property. But my thing is, as long as we have public property, why doesn't the government truly let it belong to the public? Why do they put these? I'm sure you've seen it. You live in a big city, Jay. Where they put the spikes on benches, or they police will come by late at night with even hoses and spray down homeless people to get them to leave areas on public property. So my thing is, I'm anti-public property, but as long as we have public property, why not let the homeless people live there so they stay away from private property? But instead, the government lets these homeless people invade private property, and they keep them off their public property. To me, that's just self-defeating. That just contradicts the whole purpose of public property, and it shows how inefficient the state is.
Stratty, are you sure you want to bring up homeless people again on this show?
Wait, Stratty, are you defending homeless people?
I am in the sense that the government tries to act like they're serving them, but they never do.
In all seriousness, was it San Francisco where the cops were forcing people to allow them on their property?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just so backwards.
San Francisco. But even in Albuquerque, I was in Albuquerque last week, and there's benches that have spikes on them to keep the homeless people from sleeping on them.
Yeah.
Yet Albuquerque also tries to act like a big city that cares about the homeless people. And to that, that just shows me how inefficient, how contradicting, and how big of a liar the state is as a whole, is the fact that they don't really make public property for the public.
No, I agree with you there, but again, that would go to that's a question of, should the state be weak, incapable, and inefficient, or should it be very efficient and very capable while we have it until we get rid of it? I think
it depends on.
But I think in that case, the state putting shit on public property is not them being inefficient or incapable. That's them being very capable and efficient in defending their own property. I think that they should be weak and incapable, which means no spikes under underpasses and no bars on benches and all that.
Yeah.
But back to the topic at hand. A very good tangent, though.
Yeah.
I think if we want to convince people things you should not do is definitely smash them over the head with human action and really brainy arguments.
Yeah.
You shouldn't overwhelm them with logic and economics. You should be trying to hold their hand and guide them somewhere.
Yeah.
Not just throw this gish gallop at them like an ANCAP Ben Shapiro.
And drop the pretentious stuff, because you're not those few people that could be that way, and they're not. They're some of the most humble people, like Rothbard. You're not even on the same level as that, and even they recognize.
And we all know who We all know who we're talking about with this one, but definitely don't throw these giant brainy words at people.
Yeah, there's a few people on Instagram that do
You
that.
just fucking name them ANCAP Society. Come on now, everyone on
Well,
the
we were
podcast
thinking of
is
someone.
a little bitch.
I was thinking of a lot of people actually.
We were thinking of someone else,
thinking
but
of ANCAP Society when you say that.
Well, no, I was
thinking of ANCAP Society too, but I know you're thinking of your buddy. But no, like, just don't throw these big words at people. Make it easy for them and try to hold their hand and guide them somewhere gently so they don't get scared away. Like,
and it's like,
be patient.
Who are they appealing to? Because you're not, the academic is gonna not find that coherent either. Because when I'm reading that, I'm not an academic, but it's still not, at a college reading level. It's still just kind of a mess of words. So being as clear and simple.
Philosophy PhD major stuff.
Yeah. Putting extra word fluff in there so you can get the word count up.
Yeah. And sometimes if you're gonna say something that people don't know, make sure to explain it. Like, I like to bring up economies and diseconomies of scale, but I make sure to explain it to the person I'm talking to instead of just throwing those words at them and expecting them to know what it is.
Yeah, and that's important. And in that way you kind of set you set the definition.
Yeah, so don't use these big words and don't confuse them, and don't be a pretentious dick. Just like you said, don't be pretentious. People hate pretentious. They think it's fake and they smell it from a mile away.
Yeah, exactly.
Be genuine, be nice, be friendly,
and
just be patient. Be very patient. Did I?
All right, the last thing we had to talk about today was the coronavirus. Got some updates on that.
I don't know when Andrew's getting here.
The Chinese virus.
I prefer the term the Wu flu, actually. Because I think that flows very well. It flows better than Kung flu. The Wu flu sounds hip. It sounds cool. And marketing coronavirus.
Don't you see the people on Twitter? They're saying China did a wonderful job.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you contain the infection by welding people into their apartments.
Yeah, you wait a month after it first gets found out to tell everyone about it, and then you start killing people and welding them shut.
Or you do it like Italy, you have a socialized healthcare system that can't keep up with the demand, and then you lock old people in their apartments, tell them to get fucked, and you let them die, and you let their partners be around an infection-ridden corpse for a couple of days.
Well, at least
China did that too.
At least it was free.
Well,
the state gets to choose who lives or dies, but it's free.
Yeah, who did that, Porter?
China did that too.
Oh yeah, of course. But it's one thing for an authoritarian hellhole like China to do it. It's another thing for a supposed civilized Western nation like Italy to do that.
Yeah, all that civilized society that your taxes paid for.
And that's not the first time we've seen a healthcare choose who lives or die. Like the British healthcare service did that with that little kid. They refused to let him. Yeah. So
it was worse because they decided.
Yeah, exactly.
For the parents, they were like, "No, we're taking them off the life support."
Yeah, they own the kids. They own,
Yeah. Yeah, and isn't that so fucking scary that a national healthcare system just owns you? They decide without your consent what happens to you.
Get your kid out of public school. Get them out of anything you can that is the state. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I saw a tweet today where it's making fun of these people, and it's all of you that were making fun of preppers and homeschoolers. Well, guess what? Now you're both.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
I've been way more active on Twitter. Make sure to follow my Twitter, Porter's Twitter, and the podcast Twitter. It's all in the description. It's golden content. My 1 a.m. tweets on the Insurrection Inc. Twitter are beautiful.
And your tweet on the ADL that was funny.
Did I? I didn't.
You already talked about it. Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Wait,
I did.
Did you? Was it the one that got taken?
I did talk about it.
Okay.
I think I talked about it in the gun episode.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but that was art. That was fucking art. You guys are gonna have to wait a week to see that one, but it was art. Actually, if you follow my Instagram, you probably saw it on my story. So it's all you to listen. But no, dude, it's crazy how much shit has happened since the last time we talked about coronavirus on this show. Because when we talked about it, the death rates in the West were still very low. There was not any talk of quarantines. New York City wasn't going to shut down for a couple of weeks.
It's in every U.S. state now. I believe even West Virginia has
it
now.
They had their first case. And a senator was yeah, the stock market today was below 20K. And it's a senator in West Virginia, a state senator, I think. He was we should not be happy that we don't have cases yet. We just haven't tested.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I hope the Dow keeps falling.
it will.
Still not
Trudeau's
bottom.
wife didn't have coronavirus.
Oh yeah,
Bolsonaro
the
didn't have
Canada-U.S.
Yeah.
border mutually
The
shut.
Mexico shut their own
Yeah.
border to the U.S.
Trump finally did it. 4D chess.
No, now he's pissed that they shut the border down. It had to
He
be
made
him
Mexico
doing
close
it.
the border, and they paid for it.
Dude, he should be happy about that. Actually, what the hell?
Can't stop winning.
But it is crazy. The crypto market, man. I was watching that shit like real time. At the beginning of last week, it like dropped from 8.9 to like 7.7, and it was just there for a couple of days. And then from 7.7 over the span of 24 hours, like a little over 24 hours, it went down to 3.9K Bitcoin. That's the first time in over a year, or actually roughly a year, that was in the 3,000 range, which is insane. Now, there's some conspiracies about how that happened, actually. I heard some people floating around to like some Chinese whales that held a lot of crypto, because there's like these mining farms over in China, like operated by children, where they're just mining Bitcoin 24/7. It's crazy. So some people were speculating that like a bunch of Chinese whales just dump Bitcoin on the market to get the price down.
Wait, you mean they have child slave Bitcoin farms?
Yes.
That's like peak ANCAP strawman.
It is. It's child Bitcoin sweatshops. It's insane. So some people were speculating that the whales dumped it on the market to drop the price, which makes sense because after it hit 3.9K in an hour, it almost went up $2,000 again. So, I mean,
that was an insane night. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was natural, maybe it wasn't. I know that I bought the dip. I bought like $500 worth of crypto that night. And I've been doing a lot of shopping in the last week. And let me tell you, it's like Mad Max in the fucking supermarkets.
Are you carrying around stain striped?
No, because there's no constitutional carry in Florida. And now is the
who cares?
Well, right now
there's constitutional carry everywhere if you're not a pussy.
That's all fine and dandy until
says the guy doesn't have a gun.
Yeah, it's all fine and dandy until 20 years of my life are stripped away for shooting in self-defense. So, if I can stay out of prison by paying $200, I think I would rather stay out of prison. I've been coasting that Florida becomes a constitutional carry state, but there's been no news on that. That was supposed to get signed in this year, but I don't know what happened. I've had a knife on me the whole time. I spent 3 days sharpening a knife with a coffee mug, and now it's sharp enough to use. It's been crazy in there, though. You could see through the whole toilet paper aisle in Walmart.
Can we talk about price gouging laws real quick?
Yes, we can.
Please.
Go right ahead. You take it from here.
All right. So, yeah, I reposted one of my old posts that I posted during hurricane season last year about price gouging. It's like it's a screenshot from The Simpsons. It's like price gouging is immoral, and then Homer corrects like price gouging laws are immoral. And I got a whole bunch of angry people in my comments because of that. And Peter, although he couldn't be on here today, also posted some price gouging memes lately and got some of the same attention. And let's just break this down for people real quick. If demand shoots up and supply is relatively the same, obviously if demand shoots up for long enough, then supply can catch up. But if you get a massive demand shock like this, like we've had for toilet paper, then if you don't let price rise, then people just buy all of it at the low price because they're willing to pay, for lots of toilet paper at once. If price is allowed to rise, then people are disincentivized from buying a lot because it's a lot more expensive all of a sudden. And also at the same time, higher prices incentivize that higher supply. So suppliers, redirect resources towards it. New entrepreneurs get in the way, stuff like that. Try to, direct even more resources to producing toilet paper or hand sanitizer or whatever it might be.
And then that brings the price down because of all the new entrepreneurs in the market.
Right. It reaches a new equilibrium.
Well, equilibrium is not real, but...
Well, it heads towards a new equilibrium. Yeah. It's theoretically real. Yeah, we never reach it. Yeah. Some people have suggested stores limiting the number that you can buy as a response to this. And that sort of halfway works, but it doesn't create the same incentive for suppliers. So you're still going to get shortages. Also, there are ways around that. People can just come multiple times. Or if people are willing to pay for it at the lower prices, like the forcibly lower prices, they can just hire more people to go buy for them,
Or if they have friends or something.
On that
Right.
border, here in Miami, a woman in Costco assaulted a police officer because he tried stopping her from getting more toilet paper than she was allowed to.
Right, it causes unnecessary conflict too.
I mean, on a cop, is it unnecessary?
Okay, no, not necessarily. It's justified. But say if she assaulted a store employee or something, same thing.
Yeah.
And then also it doesn't provide the same incentive to suppliers. They don't get that same price signal, which is invaluable in a market.
Yeah, and realistically, it wouldn't be that just every roll of toilet paper is $100. The way that a store would do it is like, okay, the first pack is very normal, and then the next pack is a little bit higher, and then your third pack is like $100. So suddenly you have a lot more supply in the store.
Right. And one more thing I need to address is people have been criticizing the people who went out early. Like there's a guy who went out on March 5th or something and bought just all the hand sanitizer he could from his local Costco's within like a 30-mile radius, and then tried to resell it online. And like legal authorities stepped in to stop him. Amazon like barred him from selling, things like that. And they said he was evil. Even people who generally said that price gouging laws were bad still said that what he was doing was immoral. And I don't think that's the case. I think he was responding to demand earlier than the stores did. He saw a profit opportunity and therefore allocated those resources more efficiently than the stores, with the profit incentive guiding him. And I don't think that's immoral. That's just how the market works.
And he'll help the response happen quicker, not the sooner the price raises.
Yeah.
Right. When he raises his prices like that, what he does is make sure that he does basically the same thing that the price gouging laws would normally prevent. He makes sure that the supply is available for longer at the trade-off of paying a premium. But overall, more people get it. More people have access to it for longer.
And in the end, no one's forcing you to buy it. So if you do buy it, you must value it more than what you're giving up.
Yeah, you're signaling that
it's
you
called
really
a demonstrated preference.
Yeah.
But from Twitter today, so speak exactly about that guy. Pete Quinones retweeted this guy, that's shit-talking the guy. And the guy says, "This is hashtag libertarianism 101. For the good, keep in mind this is what they call the free market efficiency, assigning/supplying goods, and then profit off of misery. Hope he pays a fine worth more than he could have generated via sales." So I responded, "Profit off misery? You mean read the market signal, stock up, and then have the available resources for premium? Like, what's worse, fighting over the last bottle of Purell at a Walmart, paying $20 for a bottle?"
Yeah, and would you rather pay $20 for a bottle, $20 more, or like have a Karen come in buy all of them because she got there first?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if it was up to me, I'm not even worrying about the shit. So I wouldn't pay $20 fucking for a bottle of Purell.
Yeah, exactly.
And the difference is the Karen isn't planning to resell it. Like,
no,
it's not the same type of hoarding.
Karen is planning on stocking it for her precious little shit angels, Braden, Aiden, Jaden, and Hayden.
Right.
Yeah. We got Andrew here now, so you wanna unmute yourself and say hi, buddy?
Big chillin'.
Welcome. So right now we're talking about coronavirus. Yeah, what's it like? What's it been like up in Alabama regarding coronavirus? Because I know you've had seen the ups and the downs, right?
Yeah, for sure. In my town alone, there's a very big contrast to what's going on. In the strip mall, or just in Walmart. Walmart by itself is the chaos zone.
Yep.
Everything else is like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the same people. It's not like there's new. Like every time I walk in there just to watch people buy stuff because it's fun. People watch all the time. It's so much fun. It's the same people every time. It's not like it's new people coming in and doing it. So there's new people stocking up on stuff. It's people coming back every day as early as possible to get the same stuff over and over again.
Yep. Which goes back to the price gouging thing.
Exactly. Like
right,
other people need
were
it
allowed
too.
to rise. These people couldn't do this ridiculous buying spree.
Like they do it every single day. Like, because like Walmart closes at 11, opens back up at 6 a.m. Every single day they're there buying the same stuff over again.
Yeah. And if there was price gouging...
Are you there at 6 a.m. to go watch them?
No, but I know it's the same people because every time I walk in, it's about the same time every day, and it's the same people I saw this last time. So I just assume there's a pattern.
Okay.
And if you had price gouging, the disease would spread less because then you wouldn't have all these people in a giant fucking petri dish called Walmart, ass to ass, fighting over fucking toilet paper and hand sanitizer and canned beans.
I don't know. Them
Exactly.
Bush's baked beans do be kind of nice though.
They do.
Okay, but outside of Walmart, it's actually very nice. I've never I posted on Twitter the other day. I've never seen my neighborhood or town this active. It's amazing. Like people are actually at the park having fun. People are
Yep.
in my neighborhood walking around the lake in our neighborhood. We got just people are doing stuff. Of course, now they've shut down restaurants in my county and the surrounding counties because we've had a lot of confirmed cases come out of local schools. But people are still going to the restaurants. Like, not only that, they're going to the drive-throughs because the drive-throughs are still open. Going to the drive-throughs and then taking it to the park and having a picnic. Whole families are doing
That
this.
is awesome.
It's great. It's a lovely sight. Like
That's
this,
so wholesome. Yeah.
it is, and nobody's
We should have
fighting.
a
Everyone's
virus
having
every year.
fun. People are walking the dogs. with their
We have a virus every year. I don't want to go through this again, man. Give me another 10 years.
No, give it every. Once it becomes
Think
a
of all the
recurring
crypto you
thing,
could
people
buy.
would be using it.
Think of all the crypto. Oh, man.
But
No, dude, same here. My local park, I'm going every day to walk my dog, and like any time of the day, it is full of people, which never
yeah,
happens.
like the dog park that was built by the local Boy Scout troop, had never been used until this last 2 weeks. Like I used it, and like one of my friends used it, but other than that, nobody ever used it. Now there's dogs there all the time playing with each other. It helped. The virus is helping the dogs too, guys. It's good.
My dog would not play with other dogs.
You got to ease them into it. My dog was very socially inept until these last couple weeks when I actually introduced it to other dogs. Now it's like, and it has identity or attachment issues when it's away from other dogs to get sad.
My dog, she's okay with some. She's very picky. Like out of nowhere, there'll be one dog that she likes and wants to play with in the park, and then every other dog she wants to maul to death.
Yeah,
So,
no, my
I
dog
can't
has gone
explain it.
from barking at every single dog that walks by to only barking back at dogs that bark at me first. Like I'll see like new puppies that the neighbors get all the time walking around our neighborhood, and their dog will bark at me because they haven't trained it right, and then my dog will be like bark at it. But other dogs, it's like, hey, what's up, dog? It's popping.
What's up, dog?
Big chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, dude, you got a point here. Like, it's absolutely insane. Though, like, you go to the epicenters, like your local supermarkets, Walmarts, and all that, and it's like a post-apocalypse. And then you go out on the streets are empty, but then you go to like the fucking local park or something, and everyone is out there enjoying the day.
Oh, something else I saw. This is unrelated to what the wholesomeness, but it's still pretty awesome. I was watching Fox News. Lord forgive me. But the headline, I didn't watch the whole segment. I just watched it before it cut to commercial. They were about to talk about how much ammo and guns people are buying.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
Palmetto State Armory near me had to close down.
Hey, they still got me my magazines in the mail, so
Yeah,
take that, sportsman guy. Still waiting for my 200 rounds. But I can confirm that I went to a gun shop today to pick up some more rounds. I got 200 rounds of 9mm and 100 rounds of 5.56 because I got 200 coming in the mail. And there was like, number one, they were like regulating how many people can come in, so it's at a normal capacity. People can keep a distance from each other, so nothing spreads. And you had people like waiting outside there to pick up their first gun. There was a whole line of people just there to buy a gun. And there were some people there through the range, and then there was us like waiting to get ammo. It was not pleasant having to wait out in the sun in the middle of the day, but whatever.
Hey, I think this is an overall good thing, though.
Oh,
even though there's people getting your guns for their first time, once the government tries to come in and take their rights away from owning the thing they just bought, it's like taking a child, going up to a child and taking away their brand new toy. They're gonna cry and whine and punch and bite you.
Oh yeah, it's been a red pill. It's been a red pill moment.
Definitely a red pill.
Like
I'm seeing a reason.
Yeah, what's up?
Why we have it now. All right, everyone else is like not paying attention, so I'm gonna take this from here.
No, I wanted to say something, but then Porter started talking and he cut out.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, who said something?
Nobody.
Oh,
I was muted.
Then my thing glitched out and I heard somebody's voice twice. I was scrolling through my Instagram today and I saw someone posted a headline. Panicked leftists surprised they can't just purchase a gun online like they were told.
Huh.
Because there are people in California rushing to the gun store and realizing, wait, there's a 10-day waiting period? Wait, there's all these regulations? Wait, there's a waiting period on ammo?
That firearms are the most heavily regulated consumer good in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been red pilled to this. It's like that James Franco meme from the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. It's like first time.
Yeah, exactly.
But so what did you want to say, Andrew? What's going on?
Oh, I was just gonna just say random stuff until everyone
talk
came
out,
back
talk
in.
out your butt, man. Talk out your butt. Go ahead.
I don't have anything to say now.
Well, god fucking damn it, man! You're derailing the show. Shit.
I'm blaming you.
I always take the blame. It's okay. I'm Jesus on the cross. Fucking worship me.
Oh my god.
How many people can I piss off this episode? Well, Porter, what was that tagline you did in like the first or the second or third episode? It was like Insurrection Inc. We don't give a shit.
That was the first episode, yeah.
That's going in one of the promo arts I'm gonna make. That and how do ships move without roads? Nobody's gonna understand this one until next week, as this is going up first.
Yeah, we're gonna release Out of Order. Okay.
It is getting released out of order. It's first
Who
order.
cares? They're being the 3 people are being entertained. That's all that matters.
4, come on. And they're gonna fund
really?
a short bus. Yes,
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, there's one person who just listened to like half an episode quits.
No, they're
every
half
time.
a person.
Davi is
He's a
13,
midget?
he barely counts.
That's Davi we're talking about.
No, that's not a person at all. He's a child. No, we got a midget that listens to us. It's half
Yeah,
a person.
children aren't people. Insurrection Inc. Children aren't people. Okay. I think this has been a pretty good one. We're kind of
was
nearing
really
up on an hour now.
Well, I think quickly,
Sorry.
could we mention the bailouts and the Fed's
Oh, we probably should cover that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. We gotta talk
Quantitative
about
easing.
like the all. Yeah, we gotta talk about all the economic policies coming out
Do you
before
want
we
to
finish off.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know, Monty. Why don't you or Stratty? You want to take this one? Talk about like what the Fed is doing right now.
Stratty's gone.
Oh, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see who's on the screen.
Retard.
Can you not read? He
I'm
said it
very
in the chat.
I'm very short-sighted, dude. My laptop is a good 2.5 feet away from me.
How are
Everything's
you
right-
that short-sighted? What's wrong with you?
I got negative 2.75 in both eyes.
You know who else is short-sighted? The Federal
State.
Reserve.
They are. So, Monty, why don't you take this?
No, maybe Porter or someone else should. I don't know enough to.
I talk enough on this show, so somebody else take it.
I mean,
Jay,
I
you know
the
more about
news. I don't know
macroeconomics
the,
than I do, though.
God fucking damn it.
Everyone's bouncing it. It's hot potato.
I mean, I can go over what's actually happened,
potato.
but Jay, someone else is gonna have to go.
Okay, so I'll just start with what's going on with the Fed and what they were proposing. So at first, Trump was bouncing around the idea of what was it, like pausing tax and doing a refund.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Payroll holiday.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Stop stealing people's money and give it back. That's not like stimulus or anything. That's just
Oh,
returning
and
what's
speaking
deserved
of
to people.
all of the regulations that have been tossed aside because they are useless.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's another one. Like so many states are like temporarily banning their or barring their price gouging laws.
And doctors can work across state lines now or something.
Yeah, how is that ever
Yeah.
fuck the AMA?
Yeah.
Fuck the AMA.
You
I had
know,
a tweet the other day. That I think I say the other day. I think it was yesterday.
That is the
Yeah.
other day.
It was quote tweeting Governor Greg Abbott from Texas. He said he would lift any regulation that stood in the way of the response to COVID-19. And I think the one he was talking about in his tweet was one that allows like trucks carrying alcohol, or it
Oh yeah,
formally banned
Texas, I
trucks
think.
carrying alcohol.
Yeah, because
from-
in a lot of states, alcohol is like owned by the state.
yeah,
And
well, this
Pennsylvania has a
regulation-
lot of alcohol shops.
this regulation banned trucks carrying alcohol from carrying any other good at the same time, and he was lifting that regulation. And I said, surely Texas will fall into chaos at any moment now, right?
Yeah, that's good.
And what did I respond? It was like
I don't remember what you
price
said.
gouging and a re.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But no. So if the federal government stopped collecting tax for a few months and did a giant refund, that would be great for all these businesses that are currently suffering. But no, instead they try to dump $1.5 trillion into the market.
Dude, and they're doing more now. Like every time they try to do something, they just it's a blank. They're shooting a blank,
Yeah,
and then the market just go down more. It gives it like an hour of relief.
yeah. Because what does it do? It like gives it this temporary little bump that pushes up a couple hundred points, and then it keeps dropping like a fucking rock.
Yeah,
It is not the
Yeah.
time to dump money. You cannot dump money into this to save this.
Last
it's
Thursday.
a deflationary time.
Yeah, last Thursday afternoon and Friday morning, they dumped $1.5 trillion into the stock market, which was more than China spent on its entire response to coronavirus.
No,
And
I
all it
would
did
like
was cause it caused an hour-long dead cat bounce, and then it
Yeah.
just kept going down.
I would like to point out that 1.5 trillion is almost as much money as there is in circulation between physical cash and digital cash. there's like 4.5 trillion. So
Yeah, and I think
our federal debt already exceeds how much money there is in existence. This is so much of what we have in existence. It's almost as bad as 2008.
Yeah, I was listening to Peter Schiff, and I think he said it's the amount of money they spent during the financial crisis in 08.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's bigger.
Yeah, so this is horrible. And then you have all these localities that are like forcing business to shut down. And I was having a discussion about this yesterday, and people were saying like, well, that it's what you have to do. And this is where a temporary UBI comes into place. And I was telling them, no UBI is temporary. Good luck giving people $1,000 a month and then trying to take that away.
Yeah,
and what good would
are
that
dependent on it, and that you would be like stealing from people to take it away, which is just
exactly. It would
backwards.
it would waste more than it gave, and also prices would adjust.
Yeah, and also just forcing
bailouts
business down, forcing lockdowns, forcing quarantines. I would like to bring up friend of the podcast, Soul, who we're gonna have on eventually one day. I don't know when. He sent me a video. He sent a video to the group chat today, and I saw it on his Twitter retweeted about Miami Beach, which is about 5-10 minutes from where I live, where they have a mandatory curfew and they're limiting the amount of people that can be in any given area. Like they're limiting gatherings. And there are all these like spring breakers that are stuck here because they can't get a flight out. So they're still here, and they're still hanging around Miami Beach because that's the party place. What the fuck else are they going to do? And these cops were like getting really forceful with them, trying to get them to this bar. First, it starts with this asshole cop who is just cursing them out and like telling them, move the fuck on, get the fuck away from here. And he tries grabbing one of them as they're walking away. The guy pulls away because like he didn't do anything wrong. He's not doing anything illegal. So the cop tackles him. Like 4 more of his buddies come and start dogpiling. And then there's this dude with a gun filled with rubber bullets that starts shooting at these like just these college students to get them to go away. Even one that was walking away, he's shooting at him. So like this is the easy end of the stick. If there is anything forced, a forced shutdown, a forced lockdown, a forced quarantine, it will be more violent and forceful than this. And this is not a path anybody should want to go down.
I think it'd be kind of fun. Not gonna lie.
No, people would start.
Okay, Andrew. It would be kind of fun. But no, dude, and the economics of just what's going on right now. There's no trade. The Fed is dumping all of this fake money into the economy.
And the bailouts coming. They should let these companies fail like they should have in 08.
Yeah.
It's not like Peter Schiff was talking about this. It's like the airlines, if they go broke, it's not like the planes disappear. Someone just comes in, buys everything up, and they know to run it better because they know they're not going to get bailed out.
Yeah. And it's like, why throw all the small businesses under the bus? Why are they forced to go a month or two without any funds and without any help from me? I'm not saying that the government should go and give money to anyone, but the government is giving money to these big businesses to shut down that apparently can't go a month without profit. But all these small businesses, which from a family of small business owners, let me tell you, when you run your own business, you basically live paycheck to paycheck. You live very tightly. For these people to go a month without any income because they're being forced to shut down, that could be the death of their business. And that could mean long-term financial trouble for them. And they're not getting any help. They're left out in the cold. Well, all the cronies, they get their support throughout all of this. It's fucked. It's really fucked.
Yeah, and I think we need to. Well, it's just like us libertarians have been opposing the bailouts forever now, and so
nobody listens to us.
Yeah, it's like the more left progressive types. They're like, oh, so the Fed can afford to do this, but they can't afford to cancel student debt. It's just like, no, they can't afford to do any of it, and we oppose all of it.
And while we're on the topic, we should also call out progressives for criticizing the bailouts, but not being consistent, because they're some of the ones saying like we should panic and shut down everything and force businesses to close. It's hard to say like, no, you can't get a bailout. You have to be independent of the government. You don't deserve to live off of taxpayers, which independently, I agree with that argument. But then also say you have to shut down. Like you can't force a business to shut down and then say, no, you have to be independent. That's not consistent.
Yeah, and these are the champions of the small guys who are against all the big corporations, but then they say nothing about all these small businesses getting shut down. They're like, oh, that's good. This is good. This has to happen.
But to be fair, companies and people should have savings. But again, there are reasons why they don't, because they've been disincentive.
Yeah.
Yes,
right. So many companies are
They're disincentivized from saving. They're taught in like public schools to have a high time preference.
And everyone's
And so
loaded
many
on
companies
credit.
are just debt zombies right now
Exactly.
because of low interest rates.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, it's a very fucked situation. Like this virus, whether you think it's a psyop or whether it's a bioweapon or whether it's just a really bad virus that came out of nowhere and really, regardless, it has set off this perfect storm of just tumbling down the house of cards that is our civilization. Because there are no strong building blocks for what we have right now. There's no savings. There's no community. There's no real money. There's nothing. People aren't allowed to like pretty much do anything without government permission, and the government can't handle this shit. They're horrible at this.
People are stocking up on guns and supplies, and the government's taking more power. We're headed towards something. We're creeping towards the edge.
Yeah.
Look, this is what the interesting times I've been hoping for my entire life. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's going to be a little fun. And when I say things are going to be fun, I'm just bored. Tired of the same old.
I was just about to say that. You're just bored.
I'm just bored. Like, I'm not a collapsitarian. I'm just bored. I don't want
you're the worst kind of collapsitarian.
Yeah.
The one who's like, bring on Mad Max. Bring on Fallout. I'm fucking bored. Give me a challenge.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Life's too easy.
Western society is boring. You're one of those,
white man privilege really do be a real thing, though. Not gonna lie.
You're one of those fascists.
Time to play on hard mode.
Yeah, where's Ultra Nightmare? Where's
Bad times create strong men create good times create weak men create bad times.
No, good times create bored men create fun times. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the evolution of the meme.
Yes, I'm the next step. Yeah.
Humanity evolved. Oh man, but no, it's just a really fucked scenario right now, and I don't think any of us know what's going to come out of this, but we're all very scared of what's going to come out of this.
Well, that's a good segue to introduce another episode we have going to be recording at some point, the conspiracy one we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to be doing. What do you think is going to happen? Talking about a conspiracy episode, so look out for that one.
Yeah, Andrew and I have been going on a very deep dive.
I have like 3 different theories that I've been looking at. Some of them more plausible than others. One of them is absolute like horse poo poo. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm pretty set on one that fits with my conspiracy theory type, which is like, the government has very nefarious intent out of this, and they want to advance their power. Like, that's the gist of most of my conspiracy theories. Andrew is going down some Mystery Babylon shit again.
No. Well, no.
Sort of.
Well, that hesitation.
In the vein.
No, I had to think about it for a second. But no.
Now you're like the pirate meme. Well, yes, but no.
Yeah. Do you know what movie that's from, Jay? If you don't, you're an uncultured swine.
I know the movie. I forgot the name. The Life of Pirates.
No, it's not it.
What's it then? What's the name of the movie?
I don't remember.
Fuck off!
I've seen it too. I don't remember it either.
All I know is that it was a great movie. It's not The Life of Pirates. I'm
gonna look it up right now. I think it's The Life of Pirates. But anyway, I think this is a good time to wrap up. So Stratty took the intro, but he's not here now. So, I guess, thank you guys for listening, and thank you for putting up with our lack of episodes lately. This coronavirus shit has really fucked with our schedules, and it's fucked with our ability to record. None of us are sick, but it's just been a mess societally. And
we've been really productive recently, though.
Yeah, this is the 3rd episode we record in 3 days. So, 3rd and a half.
By the way, the movie is The Pirates, Band of Misfits.
Is it?
You uncultured swine.
Doesn't it have different names in like different countries?
No.
We live in the same country.
No, but like it's a British movie, but some British movies have a different name.
Why would they have a different name?
I don't know, but whatever. Okay, you're right. Okay, there you go. Right.
That's what I like to hear.
Fuck off. All right, thank you guys for listening, and thank you for putting
it says on its Wikipedia, The Pirates in an Adventure with Scientists, released in North America, Australia, and New Zealand as The Pirates, Band of Misfits.
If you don't cut it off now.
No, okay. That's it.
All right, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys later.